It could not be a more glorious day than today, and a capacity crowd at Swangard Stadium, better than 8,000 strong to watch Canada and the United States. 14 degrees Celsius, sunny skies, not a cloud to be seen, and the winds are calm. There is Bobby Lenarduzzi. He's coached this team since 1992. A lot of questions being asked about his future, and I think Bob himself is trying to decide what he wants to do next. Today, the lineup he'll put on the field, presented by JVC.
And Paul Dolan takes over in goal from Craig Forrest. They're going to play Yallop, Watson, DeVos, and Fraser as the back four. 3 in midfield, Miller, Bent, and Dasovic, and 3 strikers, Corazin, Bunbury, and Nash.
Steve Sampson's won 2 NCAA titles, one as an assistant at UCLA in '85, one at Santa Clara as the head coach in '89. He's been running this program since 1995 after serving as an assistant in '94 at the World Cup.
And Steve is going with a fairly loose 3-5-2. Friedel in goal, takes over from Keller. Pope, Balboa, and Lallis the back three. Dooley alternates between defense and midfield. Burns, Preki, Reyna, and Wegerle in midfield, and up front, Moore and Winalda.
And the officials are from Colombia, led by John Jairo Toro. That is Team Canada in the dark stripe today with the white trim. And they're set to play here. A lot of emotion here. A lot of things for the Canadians to play for. I think pride being one of them. For some of the younger players, of course, this is just a step along the trail in their career development, and they're playing for possible berths on the Olympic program for 2000, and certainly for World Cup and national team duties into the future. So just about ready to get underway here. Beautiful atmosphere. This is my first trip to Swangard Stadium, Graham. It's a wonderful place for a soccer match, and field's in good condition. The weather's perfect, and a great crowd here. Although certainly for the Americans, they played in front of over 114,000 in Mexico last week. Next week they've got El Salvador in Foxborough, and that'll be sold out, 57,000. So this is a little smaller than they're used to.
Shouldn't make any difference. It's still a good situation for both sides. They're more involved on the field. They couldn't care less how many spectators are here. Both sides want to win this game. Alex Bunbury particularly wants to get a hold of his goal-scoring power and harness it. Canada-USA, always something special when these two teams get together. The Canadians fiercely determined that the Americans will not clinch a berth in World Cup '98 on Canadian turf. And of course, for 3 members of the Canadian program who were cut from MSL teams last March in training camps prior to the season, they have something special on the line as well. The Americans in charge in the early going as play is underway, and the ball is played back to Paul Dolan, and just as quickly as kicked out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in for the United States. Used to be that the goalkeeper would get an early touch of the ball, but of course when the ball's played to him now, Dolly had to kick it instead of get a feel of it. Expect the first few minutes to be very tight. Both sides anxious to do well in this game, a little nervous. Contact there. It'll be U.S. ball on the free kick. Brad Friedel plays for the Columbus Crew, one of 10 MLS players in this starting lineup for the USA. And certainly USA are not going to be weakened at all by him taking the place of Casey Keller. Keller is ready to play. He dislocated a thumb playing for Leicester City in the English First Division back in October in practice, and has made a miraculous recovery, but Steve Sampson chose not to start him in this game. He He is available. He is ready to play if needed, but it will be Friedel, who was in goal for the United States in the 2-1 win over Costa Rica last fall, and that qualified the Americans to play in the second round in this CONCACAF zone. So Friedel has been a part of momentous soccer occasions for the United States and gets the job again today. And there is the all-time leading goal scorer for the United States in international play. He has 31 goals.
Well, no question about this free kick. Winalda plays it square, and Mark Watson follows through, puts him on his back. Referee John Jairo Toro of Colombia, right on spot with both free kicks so far.
Claudio Reyna with the free kick into the box area, and there was Dolan to handle that one easily and cleanly without any interference.
And surprisingly, he never got a challenge from Lallis, who'd moved up into the box. Lallis, of course, very good on set plays in the opposition's penalty box, as is Eddie Pope. Taking the throw-in now. He's got 2 goals so far at Pope. One in the 3-0 win over Canada in Palo Alto.
Mike Burns plays the ball up towards the middle of the field, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a Canadian throw-in.
And I think the Americans will find that this field is a little narrower than the one they play on in Foxborough or Palo Alto. Makes it just a little tighter and a little more awkward to find space, especially for the wingers. Brad Friedel has been rumored to be going to Liverpool, but then every good goalkeeper is usually rumored to be going to Liverpool. Casey Keller for a spell was rumored to be going there.
Here's Bunbury. Hits the ball over on the right side. Nick Dasovic, who's in the lineup for Team Canada, coming off an abdominal problem that kept him out of the national team lineup for 8 months. And we've got a free kick for Canada.
Balboa there going up with his elbow, preventing Corazine from getting to the ball. There you can see it pretty easily. And the referee right on the spot again. And this is where Canada could miss. Randy Samuel, who comes up for free kicks. Jason Devos is up there now in his place, stationed at the far post.
Martin Nash to put the ball in play for Canada. A line drive that didn't do anything effectively at all as the ball comes back out to midfield.
Well, it was meant to reach. Look out.
Here's a chance for Nash, and it just bounced a little bit too high. He could not get the loose ball, although he timed his break perfectly. Good early chance for Canada, but they cannot capitalize. Now the U.S. gets 3 players behind the defense. Here's the ball to the middle of the pitch, and it's in the net.
Well, the Canadian players are swarming round the far linesman as this ball was played by Wegerle square to Reyna. No problem at all as he turns and tucks it into the empty net. 2 of them wide open, miles offside, allowed to play on. Good follow back by Yala, but not in time to stop Reyna putting it in. 1-0 to USA, and that's a dreadful start, thanks to Mr. Luis Agudelo on the far side, who persisted in ignoring 2 of them a mile offside. Had to be.
Bunbury now after a loose ball and cannot get free as the Americans clear it out towards the middle of the field. Knocked down right at the side of the net, and more contact there as Dasovic took a nasty spill on the turf, but gets up and appears to be fine.
Winalda just left his foot in there. Sort of, if you can do it to me, I can do it to you. And this ball seems to be a little bit soft, and referee John Toro would like to have another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. first goal of the game, scored by number...
Steve Sampson looks on. Claudio Reyna got the goal for the United States. 1-0 lead for the Americans in the 5th minute of play. Loose ball cleared back towards the middle of the field, kicked back towards the box, and headed back out of harm's way by the Americans once again. Contact at the ball, but the Americans control. Now it's taken by Colin Miller, the veteran player. Works towards the middle of the field. There's the ball played up on the right side. Here's a chance over towards the front of the net. Good chance there for Dasovic. And it'll be U.S. ball. More soccer coming up from Swangard in a moment.
This is NBA Live 98. Let's get rookie big man Tim Duncan on the horn.
Hello?
Yo, Tim, what are you doing racking?
It's 4 a.m., man.
You should be watching game film. You're going to be hanging and banging with the tall timber.
What?
Ewing, Zoe, Smith, Mutombo, Murazan, Shaq.
Who is this, man?
1-888 My House, rookie. The lines are open and I'm throwing no-look lob passes. Call for the ball. NBA Live 98, the ultimate judge. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Back with you at Swangard Stadium. Peter Watts, Graham Leggett, and David Pratt. You're watching the United States and Canada in World Cup soccer qualifying. The Americans have the early goal in the 5th minute of play. Claudio Reyna, the marksman, on what appeared to be an offside play that was not called. And the Americans have the early lead now and have control of the ball. Ronaldo played it down the left side, couldn't get free. Nash took a nasty hit from behind, and the ball is headed back to Paul Dolan in the Canadian net. There's a chance in front. Bunbury got free and went right into Friedel on a loose ball. The Americans, the training staff on the way out toward
Nothing
the goal.
wrong with that. 50-50 tackle. Full marks to Brad Friedel. Probably saved the goal, but the ball was loose and Bunbury justified in going for it. There's a little nod on. Watch Bunbury get the break of the ball. Good, courageous challenge by Friedel. And he takes a knock for his troubles. And I know that Sampson does not want Friedel to come off because Casey Keller really is not 100% fit, but he is on the bench. Steve a little concerned, obviously. And Casey Keller saying, he's all right, just got a little knock in the gut, as they say.
So the training staff leaves the field. Friedel stays in the game.
Good challenge by Friedel. Courageous to come off his line like that. Knew he was going to get hot, but what goalkeepers get the big money for.
We're in the 10th minute of play here at Swangard Stadium. 1-0 for the United States. Jason Bent steals the loose ball. Under pressure, gives it up as the ball is played out to the wing. And here is Ronaldo playing it back towards the right side. Ronaldo played a lot of the game against Mexico on the left wing. Steve Sampson said he seems to play out there better. It narrows the lane that he has to cover defensively. I think it was a polite way of saying he can be a little lazy.
Don't give him too much room, Phil, because he certainly can find the net.
31 times in international play. All-time leading scorer. Watch for number 11 in the white strip. He is a great scorer for the United States. Throw in for the United States. Mike Burns to do the honors.
Mike Burns taking the place of John Hawkes in midfield today. Hawkes suspended after getting his second yellow card in the Mexico game.
Americans just playing keep away here for the moment, playing the ball around the perimeter of the defensive zone. Chipped one into the middle. Jason DeVos got in front of that one, but the Canadians could not convert. Now Bent plays it.
Ooh, very tight.
Here's Bunbury. Now they've got a man free up at the front of the box, and here's Bunbury with a shot right on, and Friedel was right there to block that one. Good creative play by the Canadians. But a shot on goal and nothing more as Bent controls. And DeVos now plays it back. Colin Miller. Plays it up on the wing and cannot find Bunbury. And now the ball is played back to Dolan, who's challenged and kicks it away out of bounds. Hardly what the Canadians had in mind, I don't think, but at any rate, they get a chance now to come back into their own end and set up the defense. In the 15th minute of play in this first half, and it's 1-0 for the United States on a goal in the 5th minute by Claudio Reyna. Free kick for the Canadians.
That's not the start that Bobby Lenarduzzi wanted. Deja vu, if you like, in Palo Alto. They give away an early penalty against the USA and never go back in the game. He has to get the next goal.
Here's a chance for Bunbury, and that's knocked away. Bent makes a good tackle and goes after the loose ball. Then he's knocked down. Good play by Jason Bent, number 19 for Canada.
Tom Dooley, the culprit, and this is a dangerous situation. Lots of height in the wall, but no question about the fact that Jason Bent was fouled by Dooley. Came in from behind. Easy to pick out Tom Dooley. Has got the red shoes on. Let's see if Frank Yallop will hit it. He's scored free kicks from here before. We've got Corazine, Yallop, and Miller around the ball. I would fancy Yallop to have a go, but Corazine, after getting a goal against Mexico, is very confident.
Hard shot over the goal. Not much chance from there with that wall in front and a lot of tall players for the Americans playing on defense. 1-0, the U.S. in the lead. Canadians on the attack once again, trying to play it out to the right side to Mark Watson and could not get free. Jason Bent has been up very effectively in the midfield in the early going here, trying to make things happen for Canada. It'll be a Canadian throw-in.
But the US of A doing a very good job of bringing plenty white shirts back goal side. As soon as they lose possession, only Roy Wegerle stays up, and even he challenged Frank Yallop there.
Veteran Ian Fraser, who did not play against Mexico. Number 3, back in the lineup for Canada in this game. And good marking there by the American player. Working against Mark Watson, who throws it in now as it headed out of the pitch. NHL Cool Shots coming up next on TSN at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock here on the West Coast. That'll follow our soccer coverage. Great day as always to be a television fan at TSN. Curling, soccer, cool shots. Great shot there. And Friedel got right in front of it. Made sure there was no loose ball.
And he had a clear view of the ball simply because Eddie Pope was making sure that Martin Nash couldn't get near it. Nice little interference play, a pick, I suppose they would call it in basketball. Good ball to Dooley. His red shoes stand out.
There's Dolan with an easy save on the long shot from well out.
Joe Max Moore.
Joe Max Moore is right.
Chancing his arm from 30 yards out. No trouble at all for Dooley. Ball runs nicely to Joe Max Moore. Hits it well, but really didn't have the pace or the direction to beat Dolan.
And now Friedel will take it. The play in the Canadian zone, and the Canadians having trouble controlling. Now Nash plays it up. He's looking for Bent, who gets run over. I thought he made it look good. I didn't think there was a lot of contact.
Little nudge by Eric Ronaldo, but it's nice to see a winger come back and challenge. Just a little push, little elbow in the chin, but nothing vicious. That's not going to bother Jason Bent too much. He got the free kick. Ooh, good ball. Good clearance by Alexi Lalas. Got to it first.
DeVos controls for Canada and plays it off the American player. Who's the throw-in? It'll be to the U.S. Wegerle put it into the middle of the pitch once again. There's a shot that's blocked from well out, but the Americans have it again, and this time Paul Dolan right there as the U.S. player trying to make a chip shot over his head.
Good try by Preki, number 14. Radosavljevic, known as Preki, but Paul Dolan, 6'8", awfully tough to chip him.
22 minutes into the El Salvador-Jamaica game in Kingston at this hour, and 0-0 is the score. And we'll keep you posted on that crucial CONCACAF qualifier.
And of course, the United States rooting for Jamaica in that one, because if Jamaica wins and the United States wins, then it's Mexico, Jamaica, and the United States. All but a miracle next week.
Free kick to the U.S. Lalas, the man on the pitch.
He's a character. Alexi Lalas came right to the forefront in USA 94, had a little spell in Italy. Big challenge there by Bunbury against Lalas, and these two big men will go at it all day. Good challenge by Pope, a good challenge by Nash.
Nash on the prowl up the left side of the field, plays it back towards the right side now.
That was a bit ambitious to try and find Dasovic with that ball, but well worth the try by Nash.
The Canadians will play it back to Dolan and get organized here.
And Wegerle making it awkward for Dolan to clear it as he challenged. Sort of token challenge, really.
Corazin works hard against the American Mike Burns, the veteran defender. And the ball is played back to Friedel. 22 minutes into this game, 1-0 the United States with the early goal by Claudio Reyna in the 5th minute of play. Bunbury after it, can't get free, and the ball is headed to the sideline. It'll be Canadian throw-in.
Nice to see Nick Dasovic back in midfield after a 7-game absence that took him out of the Canadian side for all of 8 months.
And really a big loss in this second round. The fact that he could not play, Graham, I think is cited by many as one of the reasons why the Canadian performance in the second round of qualifying has been so dismal. Here's the ball played to the middle now, and laid over for Yallop. just about a great opportunity there to score for the Canadians, and this time it goes out of bounds. Frank Yallop up in the middle of the play, trying to make something happen from the back line.
Well, he intercepted it beautifully, the experience of Frank Yallop. But watch Lawless just keep his eye on the ball. It wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yallop knocked his man down. We've got a flag and a free kick for the Americans.
Your attention, please, with the owner of the white global television and please report immediately to your vehicle. The owner of the white global
Canadians ready to take charge once again. The turnover by Colin Miller. Miller breaks up the field. Bunbury able to control the ball briefly off his chest. Got some help from Dasovic. Nash on the left side, marked tightly by 2 American defenders.
Little push by Alexei Lawless there. Said it was going to be a battle. This time it was against Carlo Corazin.
Here's Nash. Plays the ball over to the right side.
Ooh.
A little tough luck there, too. Good tackle by the Canadians, but the ball gets loose up the left side. The Americans have control. Wegerle played it down the wing. And we've got an offside that time. The linesman on the far side saw it.
That wasn't offside that time. Winalda made his run perfectly. There was still Frank Yallop in the middle. And Winalda certainly annoyed. Watch this. This is a beautiful run by Winalda. When he gets to the ball, he's offside, but not when the ball was played. And the linesman on the far side has made 2 dreadful calls so far. One punished the USA there, but the first one certainly helped him.
Dasovic kicks it up towards the corner. Bunbury's after it. Can he keep it in play? Could not keep it in play and couldn't have done anything with it anyway, as he nearly went into the sponsor signs at the end of the pitch.
Mike Burns having a little breather there while his teammates come to support. Canada win it.
Dasovic works one-on-one. The ball goes out of bounds. It's a Canadian throw-in.
And Nick will leave it for Martin Nash, who'll come over. Can take the long throw into Bunbury at the near post. Let's see if Jason DeVos goes up.
Martin Nash. There's DeVos knocking it into the middle. After it once again, Dasovic is checked. Here's Colin Miller trying to get free. Plays it out to the wing. Fraser up for Jason Bent.
Well played. Eddie Pope just got the right side of him, turned him around. Good play by Pope.
Can't get it. Give it back towards Nash. Bent has it now. Tight marking by the American defenders. Now the Canadians are loose. Nash with a great cross into the middle. And Friedel grabbed it and throws it up the left wing. Here's Winaldo.
Oh, that was a bad tackle. Winaldo got to it first, and Jason DeVos is going to get carded here. A little fortunate, perhaps, that it's only a yellow card. Bad timing by DeVos. He should never have gone for the ball because it was Winaldo's all the time. Not much contact made, but Winaldo went down and the yellow card comes out. Certainly John Jairo Toro has been very consistent to date, and a little reckless tackle by Jason DeVos gets him a yellow card and a little space in the referee's black book. Good running by Winaldo there. Got to it first. Actually wanted to draw the foul because he was never going to get to it again.
Dasovic plays it back. It's played into the middle once again. Corazine cannot get loose. Miller under pressure plays it now to Jason Bent. The traffic is heavy, but the Canadians do a nice job of working it towards the U.S. end, and and a good chance there for Corazon. Bent went up and got it. Bunbury knocked his man down. And the ball played towards the Canadian bench.
And that was a good ball played out there, because normally Eric Ronaldo's standing in that space, but he'd gone back to help out as Canada applied some pressure.
Watson hit it. Miller with a shot, and Friedel is right there from 25 yards out. Not a difficult save.
But well worth the effort. When you get a chance and you get some space against this American defense, you might as well take it, because in 8 games they've only given up 7 goals. And there's Ronaldo in his familiar spot outside left. He'll cut in and hit it. Not enough. Good intentions, bad execution. And he knows it.
Nicely done by Bunbury, shading the defender away from the ball as he took that pass, got the free kick, and it's played out to the left side on the Canadian attack now as Marty Nash has it. Played to the middle, and they were looking for Bunbury, could not find him. Here's Jason Bent after it for Canada, and that ball is booted out of harm's way quickly by the U.S. defense. DeVos plays it to the right side as the Canadians go at it once again. Corazon cannot get free. Wijnaldum played it up the middle for Joe Max Moore. Here's Wijnaldum. Knocked down. Free kick Americans.
That's again Eric Ronaldo tries to draw the free kick. He sees that there's 2 players on him. He does it very well. Watch, he tries to draw the free kick. He's not going to go anywhere from there because there's 3 black shirts around him. But he gets the free kick. That's experience. Doesn't want to go thumping to the ground like that too often, though. That's 3 times he's gone down. He's been feeling his shoulder area last 5 minutes. Oh, well played.
Wegerle with a lovely heel pass that nearly set up a glorious scoring opportunity for the Americans, who lead in this game by 1-0 with just under 16 minutes unofficially left to play in the first half.
Tom Dooley with the reckless free kick allows Canada to get the free kick and relieve the danger, but that was a terrific header by Eddie Pope, who'd moved up from his right back position. Very dangerous when he moves up in the box. Brilliant in the air.
Boss knocked down, played the ball towards the wing. The Canadians able to control. Bent doing a nice job working against the defense.
Unlucky. Alexi Lalas tied up Bunbury, literally.
And DeVos once again, a great tackle, stole the ball again. Nice play by the young DeVos. Now here's Corazon. 1 defender fell. Corazon having trouble getting a chance for a free shot. It'll be a corner kick, though. Fine play by Corazon.
Plenty of action in this game, and the crowd, the capacity crowd here at Swangard, really enjoying it. Whether the Canadian or USA fans, certainly Sam's Army is enjoying it. Up 1-0.
Marty Nash, good play. Here's a chance and a great header, just well rolled wide of the net.
Mark Watson, who'd moved up from his defensive position, had a free header and should really have got it on target, trying to go for the far corner. Watch him. Free header, tries to go for the far corner, whereas if he'd put it on target, it may well have gone in. But Canada's certainly applying pressure, but pressure doesn't count. It's got to go across the goal line. David?
What have you got, David?
Well, Peter, the thing that Bobby Lenarduzzi keeps yelling to his players is to pressure this American side. They really believe that this is the only way they're going to win this game. As we were just talking about with Peter, that the thing seems to be that this entire game is going to be played on the American side. If they get a break, maybe they can do something. But Lenarduzzi continually comes off the bench and yells, push, push, pressure, pressure. That seems to be the key.
Well, he's had some good pressure from his players, Graham.
He's had some good pressure, and the referee was going to take his yellow card out again for Jason DeVos. Remember, he'd booked him already put it back in. Last man back. Gave away the free kick against Reyna. Very, very dangerous. Bobby has to recognize, and I'm sure he does, that the more Canada press forward, then this American side can exploit them at the back. They certainly are very good on the breakaway.
Bunbury after the loose ball, absolutely flattened.
Hey, nice to see a little guy like Mike Burns get into a big guy like Alex Bunbury. Good challenge. Illegal, but good challenge. I hate to admit it, but when I played, that was a very good shoulder charge and perfectly legal. Lots of these type of players have gone out of the game, and I think it's a bit of a pity. Uh-oh.
Wegerle nearly got free. Devos had to be very careful in the air with that header.
Sliding tackle by Parecki. Good play by Balboa. Experienced defender. Wasn't taking any chances. Saw that he really didn't have much cover behind him.
Nash got free. I think he was a little surprised there wasn't a whistle on the contact, and he was a little slow reacting to the ball. Now Daskovic trying to make something happen and can't. Nash has got it. He's been in the middle of most things creative on offense for the Canadians in this first half. And must have been a wide line on that sideline because the ball was ruled out.
A little prematurely, I think. But Alec just took his eye off it for a second and let it just go almost over the line. Remember, the whole ball has got to go over the line. Obviously, the whole ball didn't go over the line there, but the linesman was right on the spot, and who am I to argue with him?
Watson plays it back for Paul Dolan to deal with. Good challenge there. Wegerle was right up in the face of...
No offside because Wegerle came back. He wasn't interfering with play. Good play by Roy Wegerle there. And Dolan has to be a little careful because Wegerle's been 2 or 3 times come within a whisker of getting his foot to that ball. Crowd on the far side shouting for offside because Wegerle was in an offside position, but he wasn't interfering with play. Watch, Wegerle comes back. He is not interfering. Play's allowed to go on. Good call.
Free kick for Canada. Just over 10 minutes to play unofficially in the first half. 1-0 for the United States. Claudio Reyna, the marksman for the Americans. Dasovic.
Well, if you're going to bring Jason Devos up for the high ball into the box, you've got to get the high ball into the box. Joe Max Moore now with very little support.
Good defensive play there on the turnover. The Canadians rally. It's Colin Miller dribbling through the middle of the pitch uncontested. Nash checked. That's too bad. They had a couple of defenders up in the area there. Bent had that ball go off his shoulder, and the Americans take control again.
Well, Canada's getting through with that offside this time. Wegerle just went a little too early. Good move by Jason Devos to step up. As I was saying, Canada getting room on the wings to knock the ball in, but have yet to provide a quality cross for the strikers in the center.
Veteran Frank Allen with the free kick here, his 51st international for Canada. Good ball up into the middle, and Bunbury got to it. Corazon trying to make something happen.
That was handball by Balboa, wasn't called. Pope shields it well.
There's good control. Bent's got it for Canada. Long shot from well out, goes wide of the goal. This kid looked so impressive, didn't he, for Canada against the Mexico team?
Well, look at this. Handball, definitely. But no call. Alex Bunbury has made his mind up it was, but you haven't got the whistle, Alec. Good player, Jason Bent. Youngster getting his chance to show what he can do, and he's grasping it. Was very impressive against Mexico. Did not look out of place. And you have to say that Jason Devos is looking very impressive today also.
Bunbury lays it back for Dasovic. And that ball off the American defender and out of bounds. Jason Bent, a central character, no doubt, in the Olympic team program, which will start in another year or so, qualifying tentatively scheduled for late in 1999 or very early in 2000. With two teams for sure from CONCACAF going to the Olympics. Now here's a chance. Dasovic in front, and that ball is kicked away quickly. But the Canadians still press. Chip towards the side of the goal. There it is, a centering pass. And it goes out of bounds. It'll be a corner for Canada. Good aggressive play by the Canadian attackers.
And the Canadian defenders. That was Ian Fraser who intercepted that ball, took it to the byline and crossed it. Good play there by Dasovic. Now watch Ian Fraser. Well, we're not going to see it, but Ian Fraser intercepted that clearance. There he goes. Decides to push it over, then go for it. Good cross, but nobody able to get to it.
And on the corner kick, a header that went over the goal. Corazon with a good scoring opportunity. He had one of the goals against Mexico on the 12th of October at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton.
As you can see, plays for Plymouth Argyle.
DeVos heads it away. Dasovic back playing some defense. Got it up across midfield. Bunbury cannot track it down.
Pope loves to put work in the ball. I'd love to see him play midfield instead of at fullback. I think he's wasted at fullback. I think it'd be better if they played Tom Dooley at right back and moved Pope into midfield.
Pope wears number 3. What do you like about him as a midfield player?
Oh, he's very good on the ball. He got the opportunity to get into the box for crosses. Whereas from fullback, it's just not always possible, but he's brilliant at set plays. And regularly he's not, oh, he is going to have a go at him this time. I don't think Paul's going to let him get a foot in. Good play by Big Boy. Oh, what a header by Alalis. And a free kick by Yallop.
Gave the ball to his man beautifully. Gave him a chance to do something with it. Got a free kick out of it.
They will love Alexi Lalas in Ecuador. He is going to play there as soon as this qualifying is finished. He certainly is a character they're bound to take to him.
The Americans on the prowl again here as the ball is played to the right side.
Preki doing well there to beat Yallop to the ball. Oh, Joe Max Moore couldn't keep it in. Oh, little nudge. Not like you, Joe Max.
Let it out if you can.
About 5 minutes left in the first half unofficially. 1-0, the United States with the lead. Claudio Reyna with the goal in the 5th minute of play. Canadians with some chances. But so far, no goals. Here's Corazon trying to get free and can't. Now the ball is stopped briefly by Nash and then played back out towards the midfield by the American defenders.
Great control by Joe Max Moore there to control that high ball. Brilliant.
Watson headed it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the United States. And it's played back to Dolan. Bunbury now. Bent went after it, couldn't get to it. Corazon put it up for Bunbury.
Play it. Bad ball to Watson. Snapped up by Ronaldo. Now it's 3 against 2. Ooh, what an interception by Yallop. Joe Max Moore was wide open. This is what I meant about on the breakaway. Dynamite they are.
Good chance there. Excellent scoring try for the Americans. Claudio Reyna, who got the first goal in this match, and he nearly got another one as he went for the far post.
Good play by Reyna. He takes the ball wide, makes enough space. Should really have got it on target, but cut it far too much to beat Dolan, and it goes well wide. From this angle, you can see that the road is blocked, so they push him wide, but he manages to get past Watson, has a free shot at goal, but pulls it well wide of the far post.
Nash makes a good tackle, knocks the ball out of bounds. Steve Sampson looks on.
And Clive Charles, his assistant, next to him. Clive Charles, of course, does color commentary on some of our Soccer Saturday highlights. Excellent player to himself, in his own right, I should say. I hope he's not listening to me, because he'll blush.
Now the Americans taking charge offensively here a little bit as they pressure the Canadian defenders. Here's the veteran Winalda, works against two defenders, nearly got the ball free, and it's played back to Dolan.
That's okay, that's good clearance.
Bent plays it up for Bunbury. Bunbury trying to make a little heel pass. The loose ball goes to Martin Nash. Nash in traffic, hammers one. Great save by Friedel. Excellent play by Martin Nash. And he'll get a corner kick out of this one.
Well, if this was a boxing match, Canada would be way ahead on points. Martin Nash survives 2-3 tackles, blasts it for the near corner, and Friedel comes up with a big save.
Into the middle, and that ball wasn't touched by anybody. It'll be a U.S. throw-in.
Well, Nick Dasovic there should have anticipated the mistake, because he was never going to get it if Ronaldo had won the ball in the air. Instead, he just stood there and watched it, let it go in for a throw-in. You got to anticipate the mistakes.
Burns lobs it high.
Little push.
Yep. Let's get the yellow card out there and show it to the Canadian player, Mark Watson.
Silly, because Ronaldo just egged him on to do that. Ronaldo niggled and niggled, and Watson won't stand that. Little push. Ronaldo, see, Ronaldo has the first knock. Always the one who retaliates that the referee sees.
Doesn't matter what the sport is, does it?
No, Ronaldo loves to draw the free kicks, invites you to tackle him, as he does there. But he's a very clever, experienced player. He uses the rules to his advantage. But I wouldn't go too close to Mark Watson with the ball next time.
Ball kicked out of harm's way there by Jason Devos.
Regularly trying to take it quickly, but nobody coming to help him.
And we're into injury time now in this first half. 1-0 for the United States.
Shouldn't be too much injury time. A couple of yellow cards, but other than that, no injuries to speak of, other than Friedel, who clashed with Bunbury in the first half.
There's Jason Bent after the loose ball. Cannot get free. Knocked his man down.
Well, that's another one of these old-fashioned rules. Used to be called obstruction. Now you just can't win, can you, if you're a forward? Defender can put everything in the way of the ball, but you daren't touch him. Well up.
Devos, the big, tall defender. Good header there by Bunbury as the Canadians control. Dasovic has got some people on the prowl, including Marty Nash, who goes to the far side.
Okay, it's a good ball. This field, although it looks perfect, is just a little damp on top, so the ball skids. Brad Friedel certainly earning his money today, as Canada have outshot the USA by a large margin. That doesn't count.
No, the only shot that counts is one by Claudio Arenas. And here is Winalda. Good ball to the right side. Ian Fraser is the defender. And Nash came back from the forward position to help out. It's a throw-in for the United States. Bunbury chips it past the defender, on the prowl, knocked down.
Yeah, you'll get it this time, although Pope really wasn't in a good position to win that goal. Bit of a silly foul. If he'd just cut off the angle, then Bunbury was going to run into him instead of giving the free kick. And they have to hurry because we're right on half-time.
Good try there, Devos. And we've got a corner for Canada.
They have to hurry. Referee looking at his watch. He goes by time. He doesn't care if it's a corner or not. Get it in play quickly. Don't wait. Get it in.
Martin Nash to take the corner. Chipped high. Corazon cannot get to it. Here is Stasovic on the wing. Right back into the middle, and there's Brad Friedel. And he throws it down the sidelines. And here is Winalda, or make that Roy Wegerle, as he just chipped the ball into the middle of the pitch. And good work there by the Canadian defenders. Corazon knocked it down. Bentz got it briefly. And Devos plays it up through the middle of the pitch, and there is Bunbury.
Well played. Well played.
And the whistle goes to end the first half of play.
And the United States lead 1-0. However, the advantage has been to Canada. However, you've got to score goals. 1-0 the USA after a very entertaining first half.
Welcome back to Swangard Stadium in Burnaby, British Columbia. As you look at Claudio Reyna, the marksman to this point, the only one in this match. 1-0 to the United States over Canada. As we get set to start the second half, Bob Lenarduzzi has made a substitution with Dominic Mobilio checking into the lineup. And there is Steve Sampson, the third-year coach of the United States national team and assistant to Bora Milutinovic in the World Cup in '94. And there is Mobilio, who has come in. And we're going to see Ernie Stewart on the pitch as well for the United States. And he will take over for Preki. I did not see who Mobilio was substituted for. Mobilio wears number 7, lines up on the left side for Canada as play is underway with the Canadians in charge to get this second half going.
And a good substitution for Canada, good substitution for the United States. Ernie Stewart has got speed to burn, and on the breakaway, he is dynamite.
And Mobilio in for Canada. I don't see Martin Nash out there. Oh, there he is on the far side. Okay, so someone else that he came in for. We'll check for you. As Brad Friedel gets ready now for the goal kick for the United States. Just underway here, just in the first minute of play in the second half. 1-0 for the USA. Not assured of a trip to France with a win here, but it would be a gigantic step forward for them heading into their final match next weekend at Foxborough, Massachusetts against El Salvador.
Missing person either is Jason Bent, who's on the bench right now. Dominic Mobilio, who loves Swangard Stadium. Couldn't tell you how many goals he's scored here for Canada and for the 86ers.
Bunbury. Ball goes into the middle, and Ian Fraser can't get to it. It's headed towards the corner. And it'll be a corner for Canada. Martin Nash comes over to take it.
Yes, Jason had a very good first half. Time to cool off on the bench. Certainly his 2 games for Canada so far have been most impressive. But I think Bobby now is looking to get a goal. And Dominic Mobilio, I think, is more likely to score it than Jason Bent, although Bent had a terrific first half.
Colin Miller now for Canada. And the ball is played back to Paul Dolan. Challenged. Wegerle after it. Nearly got a loose ball. And Mobilio can't get to the shot. And it's a throw in for the United States. Ernie Stewart, who got the big goal you saw at halftime. He came in for Preki.
Well, Preki hadn't done very much in the first half. You have to be honest. He was sort of floating around in midfield without contributing anything at all. So the introduction of Stewart will certainly help the United States increase the performance.
I think perhaps Steve Sampson saw what all of us saw in the first half, and that was an American team that got a goal, but certainly was nowhere close to dominating play on the field. And he's decided to add Stewart's speed to the mix and see if that'll help a little bit. Stewart, yet another of the American players, though, playing with 1 yellow card. 1 more would mean a suspension. And regardless of what happens today, that game next week in Foxborough against El Salvador looks very large. Oh, just about a U.S. goal. A left-footed hammer shot by Reyna.
Dooley. Dooley was running in, hoping for a rebound. It hit Dooley right in the back and went for a goal kick. Good play by Claudio Reyna, but he didn't get a good result.
Paul Dolan on the goal kick. Can't get it to Bunbury. But the ball gets played out to Mobilio. And it'll be a U.S. throw-in. Eddie Pope to take it. Reyna. Nash. Smart play to get the ball free on the right side. Dribbles up the wing. Being challenged by 2 defenders. He's been impressive as Martin Nash. As good as Canada has had up front. Miller heads it towards the line. Joel Moore. Pope. Jason DeVos. Contact there by Stewart. DeVos had it go off his head, but the Americans are able to control. The ball is chipped towards the Canadian net, and Dolan has it safely.
Well, this is a good move by Reyna. He cuts into the box, hammers it, and look at Dooley just get in the way of it. Probably saved the goal.
Nash. Mobilio. Dasovic. Dasovic again. Played towards the corner, and the Canadian player fell in the box, Corazon. And it's U.S. ball. Just crossed one into the box area, and Friedel had to be alert with Canadians threatening. Now a long kick up the pitch, and it's an offside call.
Roy Wegerle standing 2 yards in the Canadian half. Of course, had he been standing 2 yards in his own half, he couldn't have been offside, but no question that that was a good call by the referee with a little help from Denver Perdomo on this near side.
Corazon took the ball off his shoulder, went up in the air and got it again. But the Canadians can't do anything with it, and the ball comes all the way back down the pitch. Yallop plays it to the wing. Fraser. Mobilio couldn't get free. Maybe lost it a little bit in the shade, as the shade is a big factor here on this field, covering about half of it now. Loose ball played to the middle, nicely pushed out of harm's way. Dasovic cleared it briefly, and the ball goes back out to midfield. 7 minutes into the second half. 1-0, the United States leads. Claudio Reyna with the American goal in the 5th minute of play. Played to the middle of the field. Here's a chance in front, and the ball is knocked into touch.
Goal kick.
And it'll be a goal kick. David Pratt, where are you?
On the sidelines, as always. You know, it's interesting to see Dominic Mobilio in the game. As you may know, Dominic Mobilio has been openly critical of the coaching style of Bobby Lenarduzzi, so much so that he was left off the roster for a number of these games. But this team, as you can see, is in desperate need of a goal, and Mobilio is a natural goal scorer. Peter?
Mobilio came on in the second half against Mexico 3 weeks ago in the match at Commonwealth Stadium. And David makes a good point. This country has so few natural scorers. And Pescasolido, who's been one of the best over the years, has not played for Canada for the last couple of internationals. The Americans threatening. And good job defensively there by the veteran Ian Fraser to clear that loose ball over the line.
Joe Max Moore sneaking in behind Mark Watson, and Ian Fraser had to come to the rescue. Good ball by Wegerle as he chips it through. There's Joe Max Moore going, but he doesn't see Ian Fraser coming in from the other side.
Roy Wegerle, the veteran for the United States, has been a big factor in this game so far. There's Dolan reaching up high to snare that loose ball, as the ball sailed a bit on Moore.
There's a non-committal expression from Steve Sampson, who must be concerned that although he's one up, he is not getting the dominating performance he expected from his side.
Corazin plays it back to Daskovic. Good play there by Martin Nash. Chips it to the wing. Corazin plays it towards the far side, looking for Bunbury. Cannot get free. I've been very impressed with Nash today, Graham. I think he's been the best Canada's had on the pitch.
Certainly done well. And there's a lovely ball with Stuart's speed. He's bound to get to it first.
Crossed it into the middle just a little too far, and it's kicked back to the back line by Frank Yallop. Another corner coming up for the United States.
And the US of A coming back into this game. Stuart accelerates past Ian Fraser. Does well to get the ball across, but Joe Max Moore is in too deep.
This will be Moore to take the corner for the United States. Good corner it was, too. Bounced off a U.S. player in front and rolls into touch. It'll be an American throw-in. It apparently touched a Canadian player en route. Lawless to take the throw-in.
And Pope stays up there in the box. His height invaluable.
That one's headed out of harm's way by Mark Watson. And here is Nash now.
Oh, good play by Tom Dooley to cut off Alex Bunbury. The red shoes were smoking there, Tom.
Ronaldo headed back.
This is Balboa venturing up from his centre-back position, then going for the return.
Headed into the middle, knocked out of harm's way by DeVos. Reyna. Roy Wegerle.
Good ball, but Stewart was coming the wrong way. Impossible for Stewart to turn.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's official attendance, it is a sellout 8,400.
120 spectators on hand at Swangard Stadium to watch this game. Special bleacher sections put in on the south, east, and north sides, and they're virtually all full.
As you can plainly see.
On a glorious fall day. Boy, the weather this week here has been outstanding, at least since Friday. It's been just terrific. Now the Canadians on the attack once again. Mobilio. Dasovic, who's played a lot for Canada today in his first international in 8 months and has played well. Number 4 for the Canadians. Miller plays it out to the right side.
That's twice that Carlo Corazin has slipped on the sort of dewy turf, and Kush looks as if he's going to make his entrance, and that may rumble him up. Garrett Kush, big, strong centre forward who'll run all day for you. Let's see how he tussles with Alexei Lalas, who's been given.
Here's the ball played up on the wing for Fraser. Chip for Mobilio. Nicely checked by Pope, who hasn't allowed an attacker any room at all from his defensive position all day. Dasovic had the ball go off his defender and out of bounds. Throw in Canada.
And they're going to wait till the substitution's going to be made. Martin Nash looks as if he's going to come off, and Garrett Kush is going to come in. Martin Nash looking a little surprised that he has to come off because he's been having a good game.
For fuck's sakes!
Certainly is enjoying it, and that's what Bobby said to his team, that they go out and have some fun. Well played, Martin. Times you have to sacrifice for the team.
So Kush in the sunshine now, and certainly in the spotlight, looking for a goal at the Americans. And it's turned over just as quickly. And now Reyna kicks it away. Headed back for Dolan, with Roy Wegerle staring him down.
He's a lot of running today, Roy Wegerle. It's not often that a striker will challenge like that. Well, that's an indirect free kick against Paul Dolan, and that is... No, he's given it against Wegerle. I thought perhaps when he put his hand up, well, Wegerle's entitled to stand there. He didn't do anything. He just stood there. It was up to Dolly to get it past him.
An offside called by the near side linesman.
Wegerle just the wrong side there of Davos as they both struggled for the ball.
Frank Yallop now with the free kick from midfield, looking for Kush.
Pope with a little pool there. Clever little pool. No way the referee was going to see it. Full marks if you get away with it, Eddie.
It'll be a throw-in for Canada. The ball bounced out of bounds.
And Jeff Unger's warming up on the sideline.
And we'll take a break from Swangard Stadium in Burnaby. Back after this.
The financial world of one Canadian. She values the power of stability and choice and gets it from Royal Bank Financial Group. Banking solutions from Royal Bank, investment management from Royal Trust, investment advice from RBC Dominion Securities, discount brokerage from Action Direct, and financial security from RBC Insurance. Explore how Royal Bank Financial Group brings the power of stability and choice to everyone's financial world, one customer at a time.
Back with you from Swangard Stadium in Vancouver. In Burnaby, actually. Roy Wegerle lining up to take this corner kick. The Americans just had a good scoring chance, and Paul Dolan made a fine save in the Canadian goal. And off the corner, the Americans continue to pressure. Here's Wegerle. Plays it back outside and gives his teammates a chance to score. Oh, just miss on the header. Bunbury is well back defending. And we've got the ball coming out of bounds and a throw in for the United States.
Well, there's a look as Winalda went powering through, hammered it for the far corner, and Paul Dolan stretched to push it behind for a corner. Cushy gets his first touch. The Americans now seem to be coming more into the game. They're starting to dominate as Coach Sampson expected them to do from the start. They couldn't do it in the first half, but they seem to be gaining in confidence with every minute.
Mike Burns played it up the wing. It goes long past everybody. And the Canadians will regroup in their own zone. About 20 minutes into the second half, still 1-0 Canada for the United States. Now the Canadians on the attack. Dashevich knocked down.
Good tackle, though.
Free kick for Canada.
Nope, throw in.
Oh, sorry. Baltimore and Pittsburgh on TSN at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock here on the West Coast. Good ball into the middle, and Friedel got his hand on it, knocked it out of bounds. Another throw in for Canada. They were looking for Cush and nearly found him.
Brad Friedel, good goalkeeping, no chance to catch it, did well to punch it clear as Garrett Cush challenged. Good goalkeeping. Brad Friedel's done everything they've asked from him so far. Oh.
Another good centering pass that time.
Mike Burns saving the United States. And that's Carlo Corazin who went in for that ball. Nice ball in, good interception by Burns, and Friedel and Corazin collide. Certainly a courageous goalkeeper, Brad Friedel.
Here's Colin Miller, marked closely. 3 players right on top of him, and he still managed to get free. He got a little bit of a shot, and it bounced off a defender, and Friedel covered up quickly for the United States.
Every white shirt was back there to defend. They want to protect that 1-goal lead, but they'd love to break out and get a second one. That's a bad ball. Wegerle coming the wrong way. Wanted it to feet. He didn't want it knocked way over his head.
Corazin back in the thick of the action, couldn't get to that one.
I don't think anybody would have got to that one with Alexei Lalas draped all over him.
He's a big man in the middle of that defense.
He's awkward. He's all knees and elbows. But it's very effective.
That ball hit a hand, and it'll be a free kick for Canada.
And as usual, Winalda argues about it. Doesn't matter if it's self-defense, Eric. It's deliberate. Oh, feet up again. They've done a lot of that to the United States. They're getting close to the ball carrier, sticking a foot in and just making it awkward to get it away.
Now here's the chance for the Americans. Good penetration here. And they cannot get a shot as Dolan comes out quickly to sprawl. And well played by the Canadian defenders. Did not give that man a chance to get a goal. Dolan slipped as he kicked that one up to midfield.
Joe Max Moore here is waiting for support, but as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3. There were 5 black shirts back.
Garrett Cush.
No cross. Bernsey, no cross.
Left-footed cross into the middle, didn't get to anybody wearing a dark shirt. Moore played played it into the Canadian zone and couldn't get it free, and Frank Yallop will get Canada regrouped.
Oh, my. That's got to be a free kick against Alexi Lalas. He doesn't like it, but I mean, once again, he just puts arms and dreadlocks and beard and everything all around you. What's this? Look. Oh, I don't know why you can argue about that, Alexi. Now let's see if Yallop hits it this time or if Alex decides to try it. Certainly another dangerous situation. As we said before in the first half when we had them, the U.S. defense is tall. It's awkward to get this ball over the wall and still get it under the crossbar. I'd love to see Mobilia try it from here. He's dynamite.
It'll be Miller, and he could not get free. Well defended by the Americans, and the ball comes all the way out to midfield and bounces out of bounds.
Eric Winalda just moving a little early out of the wall, and it was very effective. It's pushed square to Colin Miller. See Eric Winalda move a little before the free kick. Taking a chance as Nick Dasovich comes off and Jeff Unger goes off on for Canada.
So one thing about this match, all the Canadians who are dressed are getting a chance to play, except for the backup keeper, Pat Onstad at this point. Bobby is substituted freely. Here's a shot that comes in to Paul Dolan. Long ball out to midfield. Garrett Cush tried to get to it.
Dooley dropping back now just in front of the back three, playing a lot more defensively than he did in the first half as the U.S. try to protect this 1-0 lead.
Mobilio to Bunbury, played it out to the wing. Here's Cush. Beats his man to the outside, got it. Couldn't get past Mike Burns, though. Came back to recover. There's Jeff Unger, born in Red Deer, plays for Seattle Sounders in the A-League. Here's a chance in front, Mobilio! Just couldn't get enough on the shot with the left foot.
Bobby just smiles ruefully, and Sam's Army know they got a break there. Dominic Mobilio got in behind the defense, but it just wouldn't sit for him. Pope giving him a little bit of a tough time, and it goes straight to Brad Friedel.
Watson played it for Bunbury in the middle, couldn't get it to him, kicked out of harm's way by the U.S. defenders. It's a throw-in for Canada. Under 20 minutes to play unofficially in the second half. And now we've got another substitute.
Kobe Jones, a little firecracker, is coming on in place of the veteran Eric Winalda. Winalda certainly has had an excellent game. Kobe Jones also lots of speed, probably just take over wide on the left from Winalda. Plays a wide role, Kobe Jones.
With the Los Angeles Galaxy of the MLS.
As I mentioned earlier, 10 starters for the USA today play in the MLS. Canada has 3 players. Fraser, Yallop, and Dolan play in North America.
There's a big score that has some implications for the playoff picture in CONCACAF. Jamaica 2 and El Salvador 1 in the second half of play in that match.
And if it remains that way here and remains that way in San Salvador, then the U.S. and Jamaica are through along with Mexico. Takes all the mathematical equations out from next week's final game.
So the Canadians look on, disappointed with the way this second half of qualifying has gone. It's been a huge disappointment, and it's been, quite frankly, disastrous to the national team program, which now has to undergo a lot of soul searching in terms of its future. Corazon plays it up to Mobilio. Mobilio trying to get free. Cannot get past 3 defenders. They take it away from him and counterattack quickly.
Well read, Dolly. Paul Dolan read that ball well.
1-0. USA leads Canada. Back with you at Swangard Stadium in Burnaby. Peter Watts, Graham Leggett, and David Pratt.
And Dominic Mobilio knocking big Alexi Lalas over. I didn't think that was possible, but nice dive, Alexi. Entertaining. There's one thing when Alexi Lalas is on the field, he's entertaining. When he's in the dressing room, he's entertaining because he loves to play guitar.
Here's a chance now for the Americans as they try to apply a little pressure here. All played to the right side, and good job there by the veteran Fraser to get over and knock that one out of harm's way. Garrett Cush
Offside
for Bunbury.
Good play by Alexi Lalas. Alec had got behind him, but Lalas just stepped forward at the right time as the ball was played. Unlucky, Alec. The trouble is with the defenders, you never know about referee Luis Agudelo on the far side, because he's missed about 3 calls today already, so you can't rely on him putting the flag up. Very awkward for a defender.
Here's a good cross into the middle. Good chance. And solid defensive play once again by the Canadians. Ian Fraser.
But Stewart certainly is very dangerous. He drifts into spaces. Volleyed that ball beautifully, and Fraser did exceptionally well to block it.
Joe Max Moore out to take the corner for the United States. 15 minutes or so left to play in the second half. 1-0 for the Americans. Dolan right there to get that corner kick.
Like picking apples off a tree for Dolly. You know, both goalkeepers, although they're backup goalkeepers, are excellent. The teams are not weakened when you put in Dolan for Forrest or Friedel for Keller. Well played, unlucky. Just a little kick from behind by Pope.
He's been solid on the back line for the Americans in this game. Word from San Salvador that Jamaica and El Salvador are deadlocked at 2 in the second half in that CONCACAF qualifier. Oh, Reyna's going to get... Oh, is it Reyna? Oh, it's one of the Canadians. No, it isn't.
It's Stewart and... No, it's not. It's Stewart and Mobilio. Referee's done an excellent job. He really has. That's petty stuff. And Stewart will miss the next game, that's for sure. It was Reyna actually knocked across. Stewart gives a little push to Mobilia, who tries to get away from him, but Stewart won't give up. Now, why Mobilia's booked for that, I do not know. And Stewart says, who, me? Arrivederci, Ernie.
The Americans.
Unlucky. Well worth an effort by Kobe Jones.
Steve Sampson was talking yesterday, Graham. He said one of the problems is that in the MLS, the referees let a lot more go than they do in internationals and World Cup qualifying. And he said it's a real problem for our players because they get used to a certain level of officiating, and they cannot make the adjustment at international.
Well, that's a load of bull because the rules are the rules. And these referees are not really all that severe.
So that's Ernie Stewart's second yellow, and there were 14 players, including Stewart, who had 1 yellow card against them. And so Stewart will not be available next week at Foxborough when the United States closes out this round of qualifying against El Salvador.
Stewart in the middle.
Wegerle.
Never had a chance. As soon as he went to the right, Jason Davos just stayed with him. This is good defensive play. Keeps his eye on the ball, keeps his eye on Wegerle, pushes him wide. No way that ball was going to get knocked across. And Rayner toddles over, wastes a little time. 12 minutes to go, roughly.
Devos in just his second international for Canada, playing for the suspended Randy Samuel, who was an accumulation of yellow cards.
That was Jeff Unger who won that ball in the air against Alexi Lalas. Good challenge. Balboa, Lalas, and Pope were all up for that corner kick. Good play, Jeff. But the crowd's gone a little quiet now. Sam's Army is a little nervous. Canadians are a little disappointed. Dooley won't come over the halfway line now. He's playing like a libero in front of the back three.
Ball knocked into touch, and it'll be a corner, I think, for the Americans. Word from El Salvador that it is 2-2 now. El Salvador and Jamaica with just a couple of minutes to play in regulation time. Chipped into the middle once again. Good defense that time by Devos.
U.S. taking the game to Canada now. The black shirts are lying back.
Paul Dolan gets rid of it to midfield, and the Americans regroup once again. Here's Moore. Good ball up the middle. And Dolan was right there.
Good run by Kobe Jones to get him the end of that ball, but the effort in getting to the ball prevented him from getting enough force to get it past Dolan. Kobe Jones loves to play wide on the left there. Makes runs from deep in midfield. Nudge by Jeff Unger. And Sampson says, just keep it calm, play it nice and tight. They started with 3 at the back. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the back now.
Word from San Salvador now. 2-2 is the final in that one. Here's a chance in front and a goal for the United States.
That goal by Joe Max Moore brings the smiles to the faces of Roy, Steve Sampson and company. Beautiful ball chipped through. Actually, it's Wegerle who gets on the end of it. Experienced striker. Fakes Paul Dolan. Slips it into the far side. Good first touch, then just pokes it home. Roy Wegerle has had an excellent game. Deserves a goal, if only for the effort he's put into today's game.
Finish the game, boys! Finish the game!
Canadians go to the attack, trying to get one. In the 81st minute, Roy Wegerle has scored. It's the Americans 2 and Canada 0. And Alex Bunbury plays it back for Colin Miller. And he's got no shot with 3 defenders standing around him. They strip the ball and start back quickly.
Wegerle again.
That one went off a defender. Here's a chance in front. And Dolan made an outstanding save. Not much room for the attacker, Moore, to shoot. Or was that Stewart?
Ernie Stewart should have done better. His pace took him behind the defenders, but he really couldn't make his mind out whether to hit it or whether to smooth it in as Wegerle had done just a minute earlier. Canada are going to leave gaps at the back now with 7 minutes to go roughly. trying to get the next goal. Little free kick there given against Jeff Unger as Tom Dooley goes to his knees.
Well, it's interesting how this pitch has not been kind to the Canadians in the second round. A couple of games here last April involving Canada against Jamaica and El Salvador did not go the Canadians' way. And instead of coming away with points for wins, they came away with a couple of draws. It really hurt their momentum. And the story on this day, not much happier for Team Canada. Not nearly as many good scoring chances, and certainly not as opportunistic as the United States.
Play on, allowed the advantage there, but Jeff Unger can't take advantage of it.
Bush thought he was going to get the ball, and the official on the far side thought otherwise. Bush. They play it towards the middle. Corazon can't get free. On a giveaway, the Americans counterattack. Fraser. Not much room for guys like Bunbury in this match today. And Brad Friedel, who's had a pretty quiet second half now, handles the ball and plays it up the wing on the throw.
There's no need now for the U.S. to push forward. They've got 6 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But still.
Having said that, there's a scoring opportunity, and Dolan took that one away.
Joe Max Moore getting the break. They're going to get a lot of that on breakaways now with Canada pushing forward. He does the right thing. He tries to chip it over Doley, but as we said in the first half, it's tough to get it over the top of Dolan and get it under the crossbar.
Ball knocked towards Bunbury, and Friedel looked very sharp to come out and take that loose ball away.
Looked very casual, too.
Wegerle tried to get free and couldn't. Ball through the middle of the defense, and Unger nearly got free.
Well read by Balboa. He reads the game so well. Uses its experience, and speak of experience, Tom Dooley now just drifting in there, makes himself available, but really doesn't go into forward positions.
Bunbury and Reyna have words away from the ball. Steve Sampson looks on. 4 minutes left unofficially in the second half. Bunbury with a chance here, and Friedel came out and stole the loose ball.
Well, Friedel has done everything you can ask of a goalkeeper. Nothing spectacular, made one good save from Nash in the first half. Just did his job, but has been very, very safe at the back. And you can see why the U.S. have only given up 7 goals in 8 games. Make that 7 goals in 9 games now by the look of it.
On the run once again with the ball on the far side. That's Stewart. And this time he cannot get free. Frank Yallop, the veteran. Bunbury chipped it back looking for a teammate. Couldn't find Miller. Unger played it up on the wing. Nobody there.
And the game is virtually over now. It's just dying a slow death as the United States managed to steal one, I would suggest. Certainly Canada have to blame themselves. Plenty of opportunities, but they couldn't beat this, gentlemen. Brad Friedel.
Friedel in the net for the United States when they clinched a berth in the second round. And he looks like he's going to be in the nets for a game where they take a gigantic stride towards a berth in France next year.
And a little bit of time wasting by Pope. Left the ball for Friedel to come all the way out. Why not? That's part of the game. Of course, if they overdo it, the referee would step in, but
amazing
every team does it.
Amazing, Graham's an amazing statistic. Prior to 1990, the United States with 49 wins, 56 losses, and 23 ties in CONCACAF competition. Since 1990, the record is 24, 6, and 12. And it's perhaps indicative of the strength of the NCAA program as a development program for World Cup. And certainly it's a tribute to the amount of soccer that these players are able to play at the professional level, at a higher level. In the MLS, 10 players on this roster today playing regularly in the MLS for their respective teams.
10 starters.
10
There were
starters.
18 on the roster. And that speaks volumes for the MLS. And really, there's only one of the problems facing Canada, that they do not have a league.
And by comparison, the Canadians had 8 players who had to come across the Atlantic to make it for this match today.
What a game Roy Wagerly has had. Went back to win that ball. Hit it beautifully. And then gets up to support. On the ball now, Wagerly really was doubtful whether he would start today, being an in and out player in the US lineup.
Not only has he started, he's played the whole game and played very, very well. An American player down on the pitch.
That's Dooley, but he's not involved in the play, so play goes on. And out they'll put it. Tom Dooley, as he knocked that ball through, just took a little knock from Garrett Kush.
Fraser plays it into Frank Yallop. And we are in extra time now. 2-0, the United States has the lead. Ball bounced out of play. It'll be a U.S. throw-in.
And another reminder for everyone's safety, we ask you not to throw objects onto the field of play.
So the Jamaica tie and the U.S. win would appear to put Jamaica, the United States, and Mexico into the World Cup representing the zone next year. And the party next week will be at Foxborough, where the Americans close out the second round of qualifying against El Salvador.
And you can bet that none of the players carrying a yellow card will play in that one. Otherwise, if they get another second yellow card, they will miss the first World Cup game.
Well, Steve Sampson has a pool of about 30 players to draw on.
Offside. Looked as if there was an impending collision between Brad Friedel and Garrett Kush there, but the whistle went in time.
As for Canada, the Canadians will go and play in Costa Rica next Sunday to close out this round of qualifying, and then the soul searching and hopefully not the finger pointing begins as Canadian soccer leadership plots how it's going to get this country up from its current ranking of 62nd in the world and get started on the path to qualifying for the Olympic Games in 2000 and the next World Cup in 2002.
And the celebration starting already on the U.S. bench. But this was not an impressive performance by the American side. Certainly, Canada were not outclassed. A little break of the ball here and there, and it could have been a different story. However, that's really making excuses. No lack of desire on the part of Canada. See, I can't understand why the referee allowed Reina to stand 2 yards away from the kick there.
Well, there's another yellow card. That one against Reina.
Yeah. But it's wasted 5-10 seconds, so Reina will not be too concerned because he does not have a yellow card in a previous game.
We're in extra time. The Americans nearly got free. Here's a chance for Wegerle. Wegerle scores for the United States.
And that was once again a mile offside. No way in the world the linesman can keep his flag down there. Mark Watson toddles over to have a word from him. The linesman wasn't even looking at the play. I mean, that's criminal. Look at this. The ball's chipped through. Everybody stops. He's a good 5 yards. He's so far offside, the linesman didn't see him. That's 2 offside goals and a 3-0 win. Roy Wegerle deserves a goal. He's had an excellent game. That's 2 for him. But really, Denver Perdomo should be Denver Perdombo. Final whistle goals, and that's a tragic goal to give up at the finish. Doesn't really matter, but it's the principle of the thing. That was a bad decision.